Maybe not quite. Oh, maybe now. Hello, Brooklyn on Twitter. Right, let's see how we do here. Hello, can everybody hear me? I hope this works. It's saying I'm live. Am I here? I've got quite a setup going on as well. So, happy Monday, everyone. Hello. I'm just trying to make sure that everything is on and is working as it should on this Monday, the 23rd of March. I've got Twitter, I've got Instagram, and I have Facebook all working. I think they're all working. Please be working. Hello, Helen, by the way. It is working. Right. How is everybody doing? I hope you all had a good weekend. You didn't see much of me over the weekend, and deliberately so, because I spent so much of last week on my phone and on technology, and it was all a bit much, if I'm being really honest. Having to, I don't have to, it's something that I want to do, but looking back through news articles and trying to understand it myself and try and help other people. And it's important that if you are someone that likes helping other people, that you actually turn off yourself and be like, I need to take a step back. Hello, Becky, on Instagram. So that's what I did over the weekend. I barely looked at my phone and just generally brought myself to myself, went for a walk, was distraught. Hello, Katie. Was distraught by how many people were just out and about and just trying to bump into people. So I look like a slalom racer going from left to right on the path to try and avoid social contact. But I'm here now. I am at my sister's to help her out with what's going on, and I don't really have that much to say. I was going to talk about what was happening with the briefing, but of course there hasn't been a briefing today because there is a Cobra meeting, which is great. Hello, Snowy. I'm about to be joined by the cat. Hello. You coming up? No? You stay down there. And there's a lot of things going on about anxiety at the moment. So if you are watching this on Twitter and on Instagram, I'm not sure how I'm going to get these. The links on Twitter, I'll share the links on Twitter anyway, of things which I've found. So there was a good thing from Stephen Fry about anxiety and how to deal with it. And it's kind of what I've done over the last couple of weeks and months in any event, but it's what's going to happen is the less and less we start getting outside and having to rush from A to B, is there's going to be bits of issues where time doesn't mean much anymore, because whereas before you'd have to wake up, you'd get ready, you'd have to go to work, and then when you're at work, that's a chunk of time which is out of your hands, so you don't need to worry about that for very long. And then all of a sudden you've got the evening, and then you're rushing home to have food, and then you might go out somewhere. In my life, it's usually rehearsals that I'm rushing off to, whereas that's not an option anymore. Coincidentally, though, what has happened is my internet calendar is completely filled up with lots and lots of invites to watch different videos, of which I am adding to that. And I hope that those of you that are watching this, whether live or later on, will get something out of this, and I haven't hopefully got in the way of something else that you could be watching, and you can watch this on the replay on Facebook anyway. Hello, Haley. So one thing which I have used this time to do is to try and realise what it is that I want to learn and what I want to master over the coming weeks, knowing that my outside life is the back garden and the front door, and until we hear otherwise, essential shopping. So one thing that Stephen Fry mentions on the video clip, which I'm now going to share, is, make sure I get the right one, is about structuring your time. So managing your anxiety by making yourself aware as to what's going to happen. Hello, Tallulah. You can say hello?
What are you doing?
I'm live.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you there?
So I'm there, and I'm there, and I'm there, and I'm there. Look, that's you now.
That's weird.
I know. Hello, Kate. And then we get to say hi to people as they come and watch. So what do you want to tell everyone? I'm telling everyone about how they might be feeling worried about what's going on and what they can do with their time.
Hello.
Do you have any hints? So what Tallulah did to manage her time, which is an old mindful trick, is you did some colouring in it, didn't you? Because you were doing numbers, and to join the dots in tens. So she had to join the dots.
Yeah.
You had a little check.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else did you have? You had a flower.
Yeah.
And a shield. And what was the highest number that you got up to? What was the highest number that you got up to?
200.
200.
Well, it was 100.
One of them was 100, the other one was 200, and you got to colour it in. And do you know that colouring in for adults is something that a lot of people do to try and calm themselves down if they're feeling a bit anxious? Isn't that cool? So, Tallulah here is a mindfulness expert. There you go, look, Hayley's saying well done, Tallulah.
What?
Yeah, how cool is that? There you go, well, fist bump. So Tallulah's still learning, even though she's not in school. And we're colouring in, and we're keeping ourselves calm. And then Stephen Fry also says about keeping calm, which I'm going to share now on Twitter and on Facebook in the comments, is managing your calendar. And
this is confusing because it's there and there.
It's everywhere, isn't it? That's our fist bump.
There's there.
I know. But the managing your calendar is really important, because what could end up happening is you are going to end up running into different rabbit holes. And if you're made anxious, rabbit hole, you get confused and get lost in your thoughts. And if you get caught in a rabbit hole, particularly if it's to do with Sky News 24 or anything along those lines, you're going to find yourself really anxious and just constantly refreshing your phone and thinking, right, this is what's happening now. And because the speed of everything is so quick, it's very tempting to not go to bed and think, oh, actually, I just need to stay here now and figure out the latest news, even though little happens overnight, unless you're probably in a hospital. So when I say manage your calendar, it's important to understand what goals that you're trying to achieve, because then you can allocate your time. And this always reminds me of when I was in school doing my exams, and you have, who is this woman? This one here. This is my niece. This is Tallulah. So the years. This is Tallulah. Someone's saying hello to you.
Oh, hi.
So with a calendar, it's really important that, similar to an exam calendar where you think, right, I've got these exams, I need to allocate chunks of time. Hi, dear. There you go. When you have these chunks of time, is to portion out what it is that you want to achieve. So I've got different goals and I've got different aims that I want to achieve over these couple of weeks. I've had them for years, really have had them for years. So my calendar is full, and that includes work time during the day because I'm working from home, and then...
Where's your face though?
Yeah, beautiful. Good. Thank you. And the so filling out your time and making sure that you are quite strict with that time, and making sure that you're working towards different goals. And that is really important.
You have 2 phones.
So have you. Well, you've got an iPad and a phone. Well, it doesn't matter.
My iPad broke.
Anyway.
My iPad's bent.
Anyway, so have different goals that you're looking to achieve, because they are going to be your distraction, for want of a better phrase, because it's not a distraction, it's actually a purpose. It's something that you want to achieve. So at the end of all of this, because there will be an end to it, is you'll be able to sit back on that and think, I've learned something new. So it didn't work this time round, frustratingly, but I've downloaded OBS. I've also looking at completing different videos that I want to look at. I'm also looking at how to, in fact, what else is on my calendar? Edit videos. I want to get my mailing list sorted out as well, so I'll probably share that at some point to help people, with people in their mailbox, as opposed to having to watch me live or having to watch my videos anyway. The other thing that I wanted to share is those of you in isolation. So where I work, we've worked with a researcher who's doing a new study during these times, looking at, so I've got a tweet here, so recruiting adults in the UK to answer weekly 10 to 15-minute online surveys about their psychological and social experiences during COVID-19.
This is it now and that's it now.
Results will help identify the effects of social isolation and how to support mental health. Now, isolation is a real big thing at the moment. Look. So I don't know if you can see here. Tallulah, hello. Is your niece annoying you with a crying, laughing emoji? Oh no, poor connection. I'm back. Oh, careful. So I'm going to retweet this again because social isolation, I don't know if people are aware, is a real big problem that's got a long-lasting impact for people as well. The Campaign to End Loneliness is an organisation that also exists. So see below for research studies. So this is now going on Twitter. And we'll retweet that. And the long-lasting health impacts of isolation, which is probably why it's not being mentioned so much at the moment, can be quite bad. So let's copy this and share this off as well. Copy link address.
What are you trying to do?
And we'll put this here as well. I'm about to copy and paste a link so people can see what's going on. There we go. I don't know if that's necessarily what I wanted to. And what was I going to say? So isolation. Do your best to keep in contact. And I was talking to someone else this morning, or this afternoon, I suppose, about wanting to do things online on a Zoom. Oh, hello, Abigail.
Hello.
So wanting to do things online and using Zoom and Facebook and all of this stuff that's going on, but also being too worried about kind of breaking down and showing upset, and which is normal, it's understandable. But in these circumstances, if you reduce your ability to want to engage using this, so cameras, Instagram, whatever, the opportunities that you have might not be helpful to you. And it's important that for maybe having tears for a minute or two whilst talking to someone on Facebook or Messenger or whatever, don't let the concern of that worry or have an impact on what could be 10, 15 minutes of brilliant communication via video, where you've heard a tone of voice, where you've heard questions and have had thoughts provoked out of you. Don't deny yourself those interactions because of fear of causing upset to yourself or other people. If you do have a little breakdown, a bit of a cry, then you have a breakdown, a bit of a cry, because it's a very weird situation. But then you shed those tears and you get on and you do the next thing. And that's really important. That's the kind of thing that we're holding on to at the moment. And I mentioned in previous videos about how it's important to reach out to people, even if it's really, really clunky. And if there's someone that you're worried about or concerned about, or you know someone who's in the health profession at the moment who, particularly further west where it hasn't necessarily hit off yet, where there's a real concern that things are going to get really, really hairy, just drop the message and say, "Are you okay? Hey, how are you doing?" Even if it's clunky. And that's the key thing from my point of view, is that even if it's clunky and you think, oh, perhaps I shouldn't be saying this, do it anyway. And be clunky, and it'll be appreciated. It might not be reciprocated. There's no obligation for anyone to get back in touch with you, but throw that message out there to know that you're thinking of someone in these times. I just noticed that my Stephen Fry video didn't cross over, so let's add that as well. There's that one. So we've got the study, we've got Stephen Fry, and in these uncertain times, what is quite important to do is to really hold true to kind of planning for the worst but hoping for the best, and taking as much control as you can in the moment that you're in, to think, I'm going to decide that I'm in this situation because I want to be in this situation. So whatever happens in relation to this Cobra meeting or whatever, is to say, I'm deciding that I was going to do this anyway, and taking that control back. And particularly if you link it back to the purpose and thinking I'm going to see you, Owen, and thinking back to what I want to achieve during this time, put it in your calendar, define, and you, Owen, stay safe, put it in your calendar and put it as something to achieve, and actually give yourself like a curriculum and think of what it is that you want to achieve by certain milestones. So I want to learn how to use this OBS, as I was saying. I want to finish editing videos, and I want to be in a place where at the end of all this I can say, actually, I didn't just treat it as a bit of a holiday and a bit of whatever. I want to be able to say that I took control of that situation, that I put myself out there to try and help fellow people, and I've achieved and I've taken control of everything that I wanted to achieve during that time. And that's I think that's all I've got for you for this time round. So I don't know how long I've been talking for. But yeah, take control, get some goals, own it. Keep in touch. Right. Craig, you've only just joined and I'm about to go. Unless you've got a question. I'll answer any questions that you might have. And try and make it worth your while. I'll kind of hang on for a couple of weeks, but the highlights have been, keeping control of the situation. I want you to think of different goals. This isn't a time to be sitting back and thinking, I'll wait for this all to blow over. Lovely, hello, on Twitter. Take control of the situation, figure it out what it is you want to achieve, and keep in contact with different people. Don't isolate yourself. And we'll take it from there. Any questions from anyone before I go? I'm waiting. Good. Twitter's hilarious at the moment. No, in that case, I will sign off. Thank you so much to those of you that watch live. If you do have any questions for me, send them my way. I am on Twitter at HelloTomDyer. I am on Instagram at HelloTomDyer and Facebook at HelloTomDyer. And I'll do my best to answer any questions that you may have in the future. Right. Take care. Extraordinary. Bye-bye. Mwah. Once we have to end these things. And end.